Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready. What are we looking at today?
Well, today it's something I know a lot of us, especially those who like a good FPS, have probably got some thoughts on.
Oh, let me guess. SBMM.
Nope, not SBM today. We're going even deeper into the trenches of online gaming. We're talking about cheating.
Ah, yes. The bane of every online gamer's existence.
Exactly. And to really get into it, we're zeroing in on Call of Duty, and more specifically, Activision's big anti-cheat system, Ricochet.
Ricochet, yeah, they made a lot of noise about this one when they launched it.
They did, promised it would be a total game changer, a
Yeah.
new dawn of fair play, all that. And we've got this super in-depth article that really digs into how effective it's actually been.
So is it actually living up to all the hype?
Well, that's what we're here to find out.
Sounds intriguing.
Oh, it is. When Ricochet first hit the scene, Activision was basically shouting from the rooftops, advanced AI, swift bans, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, they definitely weren't shy about talking it up. I remember thinking at the time it all sounded a little too good to be true.
Right. And what's interesting is this article highlights this kind of gap between what Activision was promising and what players are actually experiencing.
Oh. So Ricochet is not quite the silver bullet they made it out to be.
It's complicated. The article actually points out that a lot of players are still encountering cheaters regularly, even the really obvious ones.
Really? That's wild. I mean, I guess no system is ever going to be perfect, but you'd think with all their talk about AI and all that, I'd be a little better than that.
Well, that's what I thought too. The article even mentions players seeing like blatant aimbots and wall hacks, like the kind of stuff that's impossible to miss.
Yeah, that's just straight up frustrating and demoralizing too, right?
Absolutely. You put in the time, you're trying to improve, and then someone just waltzes in with cheats and ruins the whole experience. It's not fair to anyone.
Nope, not at all. Especially when you consider just how much Activision was hyping up the AI side of Ricochet.
Exactly. So let's dig into that. What is the AI in Ricochet actually doing?
Right, so basically, the way it's supposed to work is it's analyzing mountains of data from every match, looking for anything out of the ordinary, stuff that a human observer might miss, you know?
So it's like having an extra set of eyes, but way, way faster.
Exactly. It's meant to be picking up on those subtle patterns, anomalies that scream, cheater. In theory, it's a brilliant idea.
Okay, so in theory, it should be catching these blatant cheaters. What's the article say about why it's not?
Well, as with anything AI related, it's an arms race. Cheat developers, they're constantly finding new ways to outsmart the system, basically.
They're making cheats that are harder for the AI to detect.
Right. Modifying game files, masking their cheats, making them look more, I don't know, organic, natural to the AI. Think of it like camouflage.
Ah, I see. So even if the AI is looking for cheats, if it can't tell what's a cheat and what's not, it's not much use, is it?
Pretty much. And that's where the whole idea of adaptive learning comes in.
Adaptive learning.
Yeah. So imagine if every time a new cheat pops up and gets detected, the AI could, like, automatically learn from it.
Ah, so it's not enough for it to just be smart. It needs to be constantly getting smarter.
Exactly. And that's one of the things the article kind of implies might be missing, the ability for the AI to truly evolve with the cheats.
So it sounds like a pretty complex issue. But what about players reporting cheaters? That's got to be helping, right?
You'd hope so, right. The in-game report system, it's supposed to be a crucial part of it all. But the article brings up some questions about just how effective those reports actually are.
You mean like, are they being acted on?
Yeah. A lot of players are reporting being shadow banned.
Shadow banned. I've heard of that, but what does it actually mean?
So imagine you're suspected of cheating, right?
All right.
Instead of a straight-up ban, they put you into these lobbies with,
Oh,
well, with other suspected cheaters.
so it's like you're still playing, but you're playing with other people who might also be cheating.
Exactly. It's meant to be a temporary thing while they investigate. But it doesn't really deal with the problem, does it?
Not really. No. And I guess if someone's determined to cheat, they'll just create a new account and start all over again.
Exactly. And on top of that, the article points out that players often don't get any feedback on their reports.
Really? So you report someone and then nothing.
Pretty much. You're just left wondering if anything even happened. And that can be super frustrating, can it?
Totally. You'd feel like your reports were just going into a black hole.
Right, like you're shouting into the void. And when you combine that with still seeing cheaters in your games, it's easy to see why people are getting frustrated.
Speaking of frustrated, the article actually quotes a bunch of players and YouTubers who are, well, not exactly happy with the state of things.
Yeah, they have every right to be, don't they? There's this one quote that really stood out to me.
What was it?
Let me see if I can remember it correctly. Something like, it's like playing whack-a-mole with cheaters. You ban one, two more pop up.
Ouch. And I bet a lot of players feel that way.
Definitely. It gets to the point where you just feel helpless, doesn't it? Like, no matter how much you report, no matter how advanced the anti-cheat is supposed to be, you're still going to run into cheaters.
Right. It feels like this never-ending battle. So, where do we go from here? What does the article suggest Activision should do to make things better?
Okay, so the article really pushes for a more well-rounded approach. Less about one big solution, more about attacking the problem from multiple angles.
Okay, I like that. So what are some of those angles?
Well, first off, they talk about the need for better communication with players, actually listening to feedback, taking it on board.
Yeah, transparency is huge in situations like this.
Absolutely. And then they bring up the need for more human oversight.
So not just relying on the AI.
Right. Because at the end of the day, AI can only do so much. There are nuances, patterns, things that a human eye might catch that an algorithm could miss.
It's that human element again, isn't it?
Exactly. And then finally, and this one might be a little controversial, harsher penalties.
Oh, interesting. You mean like really cracking down on those who are caught cheating?
Exactly. Because right now it seems like the risk is worth the reward for a lot of cheaters.
Yeah, I guess if you don't think you'll actually get caught or the punishment isn't that bad, why wouldn't you cheat?
Precisely. But then that brings up a whole other question, doesn't it? Can we ever really get rid of cheating entirely?
That's a big one. I mean, is it even possible to create an online gaming world that's 100% cheat-free?
It's a good question, and honestly, I don't think there's an easy answer. It's a challenge not just for Call of Duty, but for the entire industry. It's almost philosophical, isn't it?
It is. It's about finding that balance,
Yeah.
right, between the power of technology, like the AI and Ricochet, and that all-important human element.
Exactly. And ultimately, it's about creating a gaming environment that's fair and fun for everyone.
Couldn't have put it better myself. Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive. It's definitely given me, and I'm sure all our listeners, a lot to think about.
My pleasure. Always happy to dive deep.
And for all you listeners out there, what do you think? Can technology ever truly solve the cheating problem? Or will there always be those who try to game the system? Hit us up in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Until next time.
See you then.